Hi everyone, Hilda and Bert here, and today's topic is bypassing probate. So we're going to go over a few topics that we have listed here and give you some education on how you can bypass probate. Bert?
Lots of times people have a will and they feel that the will is going to be followed to the letter. That's not always the case. Anybody can challenge a will. Anybody. Your neighbor can challenge it, a cousin, anybody can challenge a will. So if you really want things to get set up the way you want, there's ways to bypass that. A will also becomes public record because it goes through probate, and you may not want that to happen. So what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to protect your assets and have them go to the correct beneficiaries in the amount that you want. And there's a way to do that. There's several tools that are available. Number one, and I encourage everybody that has a home, if you have a personal residence, you want protected. And the best way to do it, the least expensive, is to use a ladybird deed. A ladybird deed, technical name, is called an enhanced life estate. It's a type of a trust. Sounds very complicated, but it's a 2-page document, very easy to get set up. It's best if you get an attorney that will help you do it. But it bypasses probate. It protects your home if you ever have to get on Medicaid and go into a nursing home. It prevents the state from taking your home. So that's another good benefit of having a ladybird deed. Second one is called
a POD. And a POD is payable upon death. And this is a great tool that you need to use at your banks or any type of accounts you have there, because a POD is necessary. Suppose you have a joint account, a husband and wife. One passes, the other takes over, but you really have to have someone on the POD so that when someone does pass, you bypass probate and that person becomes a beneficiary.
And a POD is a simple document. It's free at the bank that you have checking or savings accounts. But what it allows is your heirs to have access to the funds with a death certificate. Mm-hmm. So that's all they need. Prior to that, they cannot touch the account. They cannot get access to it. They don't know what you're spending your money on. But on your passing, they can have access to those funds right away instead of waiting months for those assets to go through probate. The third part, a TOD. A TOD is called a transfer on death. And hold it.
A TOD is normally used for vehicles, and it is a very inexpensive way to make sure your vehicles go to the proper beneficiary. It's $28.
$28 through the DMV. Very inexpensive.
And here's the thing, most people own more than one vehicle, 2, sometimes 3. You can use a TOD for each vehicle.
Correct. And again, if you were to pass away and you don't have this TOD in place, the vehicle has to go through probate before it gets transferred to one of the beneficiaries. You can tell your son you're going to get it. You can tell your son you're going to put it through, or your daughter going to put it through the will. But by the time the will gets processed, it could be months. Somebody has to make the payments on that vehicle. Somebody's got to make sure that everything's taken care of. Mm-hmm. With a TOD, it goes directly to that person as long as they have a death certificate. So very quick, very inexpensive to get that set up. The fourth one are retirement accounts. Retirement accounts, if you're working, you have an IRA, 401k, 403b, there's a bunch of different types of retirement accounts. You always want to name a beneficiary. Now, you want to keep it updated too. Been many cases where somebody passes and an ex-spouse ends up with the money because they never changed the beneficiary. So you want to make sure that you have the correct beneficiary on your retirement accounts. That bypasses probate also. Annuities are a great tool. Annuities are a contract between you and an insurance company, and on your passing, you can designate a beneficiary. They can get a lump sum, they can get partial lump sum, they can get a monthly amount, quarterly amount, yearly amount. You can structure it almost any way you want. Mm-hmm. But annuities, there's no cost to set it up other than the funds you put inside there. Annuities are a very great tool for doing that. A trust. Trusts are when you have more assets that you need to protect and you want to make sure they go to the right people. A trust will be followed to the letter. It's really nice if you have multiple children, or if you have somebody that's disabled or is a special needs child. Trust is crucial because you're going to be able to take care of that person after you pass, and it'll be followed to the letter the way you want it. And finally, life insurance. Life insurance has a beneficiary. You want to make sure the beneficiary is always updated. Like I said again, many times people have passed away and it's a beneficiary for 25 years ago that they no longer have a relationship with ends up getting the money. And the insurance company is going to give it to that person. So you want to make sure you have the correct beneficiary on your life insurances, your retirement accounts, all of your accounts. You always want to make sure that that's updated frequently. If you have a financial planner or a tax advisor, talk to them. They can help you with that. If not, call us. SSTX Financial. My name is Bert. 361-688-7335.
And I'm Hilda, and thank you for your time today.